Well, here's one that is right up my alley, and that's because we are going to make it modern. And I say it's right up my alley because I am a member of the local Sacramento Modern Quilt Guild, and modern quilts are my jam, and I think this one's gonna be really fun. I have a hodgepodge mix of fabrics, but it's kind of interesting that they all kind of come together, and I don't know where I ended up with some of them from, but they're actually really fun. So the quilt that we're doing today is this Curio one, where it's got this main print here and then these accent prints. Like, these are really just basics here along the sides. And so I kind of stayed with that basic feel. And this one I feel like is going to be a more calming one than a lot of the quilts that I've done. And so just based off of the focal fabric that I've had for I don't know how long, I probably inherited it from my mom or my grandma or something, but when you see it, it'll be interesting to see if you have the same take off of what it reminds me of. Here's my main fabric, and it kind of reminds me of the Dixie Cup logo, like that blue and purpley swoosh. It's got like hints of aqua and purple and like a little bit of pink in there too in some spots, like the side has some pink in it. I don't know where I got this fabric, it's just been there. And so I've been looking at it like all last year and into this year going, there's gotta be something I can do with this. And then this fabric was on the free table at my guild, and I was like, I can always use Kona solid fabrics. So that came home with me because it was free, and there's about 2 yards here, which is perfect. And so I went and looked at it and was like, it's gonna sit here until I find the right quilt. And then this showed up in that box. Once I saw the Purple Fairy Frost and saw these other two fabrics just in my pile of crazy ideas, it just all fell into place. So this is gonna be that main little square. This is gonna be the background fabric. And then this is gonna be like that kind of fence looking and a little bit into the borders, I think. I don't know which one's gonna end up my binding. There's enough of all three of them, I'm sure, for there to be a binding out of whatever there needs to be a binding. So I'm very intrigued to see how this set comes together. It's a little out there, it's a little odd. It's a lot different than my normal bright, bold, grunge color scheme, but change is good sometimes. It's good to try new things. So let's go cut this out and see how this is all going to come together. So oddly enough, it turned out that this fabric was 60 inches wide, not 44. So I was able to do a little bit of extra mathing and get those cut out better. So there's my big focal Dixie Cup center squares. And then these are what are going to snowball the corners. These kind of intersect the strip units. And then these are going to be the strip units. And I don't believe I cut out a binding for this one yet. This is more of the sashing, I believe. Oh, this is the first border. Because I wasn't sure what I was going to end up with. I probably have enough of this to do binding, but I kind of want to see how it comes together as a whole before I go that route. So let's go snowball some corners so we can make this Dixie Cup quilt come to life. So now with all my pieces that are prepped, I basically have two different rows. I've got these rows that there are 1, 2, 3 of these strip piece units with these squares that are going to offset from these, which there are 12 of these squares, and there's 12 of these. So there's gonna be 4 of this row, 5 of this row, so it looks like it's all bordered up with these little cornerstones, and then it's gonna alternate row 1, row 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna start sewing these into their rows and then sew them into the middle section of the quilt top. So here is the finished Curio, and it is what it is. It's different than my other ones, obviously. A lot more toned down, a lot more subdued. So maybe that's why I'm just like, it's fine. In my little viewfinder here, like, you can hardly tell that these are snowballed corners. They all kind of just like blend together. So I hope you can see that on there, that they are in fact pieced differently. And I know that if you're at this point in the video, you watched me piece them. So I think maybe the quilting will help it out. Right now it just looks like a big giant like tic-tac-toe board or something. But it went together well. I did like this here. I think what I would change to do if I was to do this again is to pick more contrast in my print and my background, because it is like these purple really take the focus, and these are just kind of here. And so I did ask my mom, and I was like, did I have an outfit made out of this or something? And she was like, yeah, you made an outfit out of it. Apparently this is the fabric I chose to use when I took a Kids Can Sew sewing class and made a top and matching skirt. So, oh man, if I wish I had photos of that so that I could drop it in here. Maybe if I search real hard by the quilting video, I'll see if there's any existence of my delightful outfit when I was 7 years old and what I made. So so there you have it. I think it turned out really nice. Somebody's gonna love it. So I've now got to figure out a backing. I think I'm gonna aim for like that pinky color, because I think I have enough of this to do the binding. I didn't cut it out yet, but it was like 60 inches wide, I believe. So there's a good chance I'll use that for the binding, just to kind of tie it on the front and not throw in a fourth fabric there. So we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and take an up close look, and then we'll stew up some ideas on how this is going to get quilted.